All right, we're good.
All right. Thank you, Kim. So Kim and I discussed how we were going to, do this call tonight. And she asked if I would start out kind of going over the homework I ended with last, I guess, 2 weeks ago now. And, just let you know what's going on in my business. And then I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about tonight's call, just kind of my highlights, what I liked about it. And then I want to hear from you all too and hear, how your last 2 weeks went, maybe share a win from doing some of the homework if y'all did it, and just maybe what you took away or something new that you learned. Some people are brand new consultants, so everything might be new to them, but other people may be seasoned consultants and there might be something really cool that they took away. I know I got some really neat things from Linda's call. So our very first thing that we're supposed to do for our homework was to rewrite our 21 reasons or write our 21 reasons down. And also I was thinking about this too, read Dare to Dream, Work to Win. The first 3 chapters of it was what we did last week. And Kim's going to go over what our assignment will be for this week. But I was going through this, and one thing I wanted to share with you all, just about the importance of getting on these calls every single week. And, we really, the first 3 chapters of this book just really hits on what we have to know what our why is. Why are we doing this business? And that's why we write out the 21 reasons. But the other thing that I really liked that was in these first 3 chapters was talking about association. And so that's why Kim and I decided that we wanted to do these calls. And I just wanted to reiterate this with you all tonight too. I'm just going to read from page 39. So association with people of this caliber, so basically us, all of us that got on here tonight, is good for the soul. It helps us do one very important thing, and that is to focus. It encourages us to keep our heads in the game. Sometimes we need others to help us achieve and do what we want. We need others to keep us sharp, because in this business of daily life, it is easy to lose the cutting edge. So I just loved that. And I'm just reminded why we're doing this call, why we're listening to Linda Parker. I mean, she's the best of the best. And when she gives us the homework, we need to be doing the homework. And so, I'm not going to lie, I didn't talk to one person every single day for the last 14 days. I mean, I'm going to be honest and tell you all. But I am going to be, because I was, didn't do all the homework that we were given last time, I'm going to make sure that this week I'm going to have it all done. So y'all are my accountability partners. When I get on here a week from now, y'all are going to say, Alyssa, did you do your homework? And I'm going to be able to say, yes, I did it. I did it all. So anyway, back to the homework. So 21 reasons. That was an easy one. Ask 10 people to join the business with you was another thing we had to do. We were supposed to have 2 group presentations. So that would have been 4 group presentations all together. And then, how many people can you sponsor and how many people can you get into the 30 Days to Healthy Living group? So we have, a Healthy Living group that started at the beginning of the month. And then we also have another one that starts on the 20th. So we have really, it's a great time to get people into those groups. And it's an exciting time. And I'm leading the one for the 20th, which is really fun. So that's that quick overview of the homework, and then from last week, and then I'm going to get into just the basics of call number 2. It was really all about presentations and getting a full calendar, and it was great. And I love Linda Parker. She's just such a nuts and bolts type of person. But some of the things I love from the call, if you've been around in Arbonne for a while, that we always do like the hand scrub at the sink, or we do like the hand cream like she talked about in the call. But I love her idea to take those facial wipes and do it on one side of your face. Did you all listen to this? I mean, I thought it was great. And then they stick one of those, gel, the prep work eye masks, and only on one side though. So then they can see the difference. But while you're doing that, you're getting to know the person, because that's our whole point, is we want to sponsor. That's what we want out of everything that we do. And so we're finding out why this person needs Arbonne. And that's the key. Like Linda Parker said all throughout this call, our goal in sponsoring other people is to find what they need and to make Arbonne fit what their needs are. And that's how I've sponsored, I think all the different people, in the last 4.5 years of my business. It's always been, finding what Arbonne fits for them. And for everybody, it's something different. Some people want to quit their job. Some people just want the association of Arbonne. They want a social aspect. Some people are looking for just time to get out of the house. Some people want money. So everybody's different. You know, what I want out of Arbonne is completely different than what Kim wants out of Arbonne or what Eleanor wants out of Arbonne. And so we have to find, you know, what fits them. And so we just need to get to know people. And that's how we can do this with those facial wipes and the prep work eye gel pads. Then the other thing that I loved, and these are just little teeny things, not even big things that I took away from the call, but when she was talking about closing, one thing I've never thought about, I laminate all my sheets, but then I also have order forms at presentations. But I love that she uses the dry erase markers. Does anybody else do that here? Or am I no, nobody else has either. But I love that instead of, because people always get confused, I think sometimes with those order forms. But I'm going to try that at my next presentation. I'm going to have dry erase markers, just let them pick their ASVP and then just write on there, you know, anything else that they might want. So that is my, you know, those are my two big takeaways. You know, if you have been a consultant for a while, you know pretty much everything that she has told us. But the key is, you know, you can know how to do everything, but you actually have to do it and be in activity. So that is my big takeaway, is I need to get into activity and have some presentations. So Kim, I'm going to pass it to you. You can share what your big ahas are, and then we will, you know, go around if anybody wants to share too.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alyssa. So I guess in the very beginning, what she said, and I just love this, she says, you know, she's talking about, you know, these calls are Let's Go District to get us into district manager qualification. And even those of us who are districts or areas or above, we always need to be building our district. I mean, we all need to build that. We call it the gold brick, that 2,500. So regardless of where you are in your business. But she said, if you are doing the activity, then the numbers, the volume to reach district manager will take care of themselves. So we really don't have to worry about the numbers. You don't have to really think about, oh, I need to hit 2,500 this month. I need to hit 2,500 this month. If we're doing the activity, you know, if we're doing the 2 presentations a week, or if we're doing the multiple one-on-ones a week, then if we're doing the reach outs, you know, either through messages or messenger, if we're actually doing the work every week, we don't really have to worry about the numbers, because it has been shown, and it's a fact, that if you're in activity, your numbers are going to grow, because people love Arbonne once they're introduced to it. But the key is we have to be in activity to introduce it. We have to be talking to people. So I found that to be just kind of something that I don't really think about a lot, is that, you know, that if you're doing the activity, you don't really have to worry about anything else, because that will all work out on its own. And so I will go ahead and pass it along to anybody else who wants to share. Just unmute yourself. Now, see, Renee, I thought you were reaching to unmute yourself.
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead, Eleanor.
And I'm not sure, someone may have already shared this because I was a little bit late getting on. But what she said early on, I think right at the very beginning also, but what is so very important, because Cecilia always coached on this, is that you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And did you mention that, Alyssa? Was that something you talked about? Okay. That she said that at one point in her business, she had run out of people. And I've heard that. I've been coaching this week, and I've heard that already today a couple of times, you know, that people are afraid, consultants, especially new consultants, are afraid they're going to run out of people. But you will never run out of people. And when Cecilia heard her say that, she said, okay, just go, you know, do a vendor booth, do something to get in front of people. And so she did that. She said she didn't want to do that, but she had to be willing to do what it took to get in front of more people, to find more people. And what happened is, because she was willing to do whatever it took, she said she had to do very few of those, because she started, you know, getting into so much activity simply because her mindset had changed, that she was willing to do whatever it whatever it takes to get to the top. And I just love that. She said that that when you when your heart changes toward this business, and when you know that whatever you have to do, you're going to do it, then your business changes as well. And so I just thought that was awesome. I'll let someone else.
I was actually going to say something, Kim. I was reaching for my notes.
I knew you were. I knew you
I couldn't
were.
read them. Then I couldn't read them, so I put my glasses on. They're like chicken scratch. But I love her calls too. And a couple of things that I took away that I thought was kind of fun is the game that she played. That as you're like talking, she said for people to jot down the names of the people who they think may be interested in something like this. Yeah. And then whoever has the most on their card at the end gets a prize. And so you're not necessarily handing in those cards to her, but she's just showing the people that she's talking to, look, you already have like 3 or 4 names on there. That's enough to have your own party. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I like that she always has a cash and carry at her cost, 35% off at the party, so that when people are checking out, she has this basket here and like basically says, hey, if you'd like to choose something in here, this is my discount. Maybe try something new or that you haven't tried before. And I also love the 20-minute color consultation.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty fun. It's just like a bonus and a way to learn a little bit more about the person. And I just think that's a fun idea. So she had really great ideas that I've never used that would definitely create business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll go.
The verbiage, Renee, I think, that you love so much as well. The verbiage that she used with all of those things. She makes presentations into that 5-point, the 5 things that you need to do in a presentation. Oh my goodness, no wonder, that those presentations are going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Brenda.
I'll go. I agree with everybody. Everything that she said, it was just packed with information. And for some reason, after 4 years, I've never done the hand massage when they come into the door. That was new to me. I was like, hello. I thought that was just brilliant. And it wasn't, like she said, it wasn't about the hand massage. It was about getting to know the person. It gives you really a one-on-one and kind of pampers them and that kind of thing. I loved that. Then the other thing that struck me was the people that said no, that they weren't interested in the business. She would call them back, I don't know, a couple weeks later or whatever, and she would say, I have not been able to get you off my mind. You remind me of the people that are at the top of our company, and I just think you would be great. And she said 40% maybe would say yes. So it reminded me again, it's a numbers game, and we have to ask. I mean, and she asked, that was like after they'd said no the first time. She said, you never know that they might be rethinking it. The thing that hit me, I think, for the new people and for us old timers too, she talked about have your win today. Here's your volume. This is what you want at the end of the month. But I had a win today. I contacted my people today, me personally, and I have a 3-way call with Kim on Friday. So that was my win today. Did I get any numbers on my? No, I did not. But like Kim says, it'll happen. So I love I had a win today. Going to have a win on Wednesday. Going to have a win on Thursday. It may be just different little things, but don't be so hard on ourselves. Think about it that way. Those were the things that really spoke to me, in addition to what Alyssa and Eleanor and you said.
Great, Brenda. Thank you.
I'll go.
All right, Tara, thanks.
So as y'all know, I don't take notes because I listen in my car, so I'm just trying to remember what I heard. But y'all are refreshing my brain. What I wrote down, the first thing I remembered as soon as I could get to my notes, of course it was towards the end, but she talks about how, we talk about time leveraging and time freedom in this business right when we're talking about is Arbonne for you, right when we're first meeting with our prospect and, trying to get them to sign up either as a PC or a consultant. But she goes on and talks about how time leveraging doesn't work for you unless you're also duplicating. So you can't say that you have time freedom if you're not duplicating yourself and your business. So if it's just you working, and you haven't duplicated what you're doing, either because what you're doing is too complicated or you're not following the system, guilty. So if you're not duplicating, then you don't have time leverage. So that kind of struck me, because it's so important to duplicate what we're doing, and it's so easy. The system is so easy, but we forget to go back to the basics when we're raising up our newbies. So I don't know. I just that kind of just stuck with me. And everything else y'all said too.
Great insight, Tara. Great insight.
I can share a few things. Of course, everything that you said, and Renee, I definitely piggybacked on the great idea about writing the names down of people you're thinking about for the business. Love that part. But did she say she collected those names at the end or not at all? Or was it just for the person who was recording them? Okay. Anyway, so I know this is stuff we've heard before, but the reminder to ask what you really want. I think I'm guilty of that, especially if you're talking to somebody who is sort of your chicken list. You beat around the bush about asking them to host sometimes, and instead just saying it would really mean the world to me. You're always supporting my business. It would mean the world to me. Could you get those few people together for a presentation? So being very direct and asking what exactly you want them to do. Because I think she gave an example of, maybe it was another consultant who had asked someone and the person didn't host and said, well, if you'd asked me to host, I would have done it. So I think we just have to be more direct and ask exactly what we want. And then it went back to that time when she was talking about the hand massage or the wipes and the gel eye mask, just to get to know them and talk to them. And she mentioned, she asks questions. Do you have kids? What do you do for fun? Are you working outside of the home? But I love that she said she responded with, I'll bet you love that. Which is like the way for them to go, well, actually, no, I don't love that. And, give us a reason to fit Arbonne in, so I've never thought of it that way. I'll bet you love that is such a great way to get them to either go, yep, I do, or, well, actually, no, I don't really like this about my job. And then let me see if there's anything else. You all shared a lot of them. And I like that whole thing about 24 to 48 hours after speaking with somebody who said no to you, right at that point, to have a coffee date. But that whole, I've been thinking a lot about you, and I don't know if you've thought any more about it, but what do you think? And she said a lot of them will giggle and say, wow, I'm so honored you'd think of me, or maybe not, maybe so. Let's see. So those were mine on top of all the ones that you guys already did.
Thank you. Thanks, Charlotte, for sharing. Does anybody else want to share?
Well, I have a couple of things, probably more questions than comments, actually.
Absolutely, Kelly. That's why we're here.
Well, and I'm so new, so I feel like I'm really still getting in my rhythm, getting in my pattern. And Alyssa had asked about wins. I feel like I'm winning every time I talk with someone, because everyone asks something that I still don't know. And so that to me is a win, and I always thank them for that. This has given me the opportunity for learning more. So I still have just so much to learn. But around that kind of getting in my pattern, I've heard and I've seen the formula that she has spoken of as well, of 2 group presentations, 1 one-on-one, and then samples every day. And I get that formula, but I kind of got stuck this weekend. I tend to want to put a lot of energy into one thing, and I had a small healthy happy hour on Friday, and I put a lot of energy into getting people there and figuring out how we were going to structure that. And then through the weekend, I realized, to use Romy's words, I don't have much in my funnel right now. Well, I've only been doing this a couple weeks, so it's going to take some time for me to get my funnel, full. But what I liked about this number 2 call that really gave me something tangible that I can hold on to is to get 10 things on my calendar. So whether it's a group presentation or a one-on-one or a coffee date or a phone call even, just to get 10 things on my calendar every week is going to get me to that place of 2 group presentations and one-on-ones and whatnot. So that was really helpful. And then I also wanted to hear more about the laminated, what she called the close sheet. That was very interesting to me.
Actually, if you want to hold on just a second, Kelly, I can run over to my Arbonne closet and grab what my close sheet looks like. So
I would love to see that.
Hold that thought, because mine are laminated. I've just never used a little thing.
I would love that. I've made up myself a profile, like a client profile sheet. And then of course I've got the order forms, but I love the idea of kind of putting them right there, putting it in front of them, because what I'm doing is I'm walking away from every meeting so far with promises. Oh, this sounds good. I'll look through the catalog and I'll talk with you again. So promises, but not walking away with any orders. And as Brenda knows, that's been a little bothersome to me. So, whatever y'all can do. My question is, well, I have a lot of questions, but I'll only ask one. I know about Learn and Burns, and I know about Go for Gold, and I've been doing my 30 days of, in fact, I was doing this even before our challenge, but I've been doing my 30 days of Discover Arbonne. But she talked about Eye on Arbonne, and maybe I'll have talked about that, but I haven't processed it. What is that?
Eye on Arbonne's are stories written by Arbonne National Vice Presidents and Arbonne Regional Vice Presidents. So it's their success stories. They're called Eye on Arbonne's, or EOAs for short. And if you go to arbonne.success.com, you will see all of the Eye on Arbonne stories there. So is that correct? Is that the website? Is that correct? I think it's arbonne.success.com.
I think that is correct, and I believe there's also an app.
Okay. Yeah.
It has all these stories as well.
Yeah.
So they're written stories. They're not like the Discover Arbonne where they.
Yeah, okay. These are written, and you can actually print them off. And so just on a side note, for what we call a curiosity pack, for somebody who's interested in the business that you want to give them something tangible to take home, I always give them, 1, 2, or maybe 3 Eye on Arbonne stories that might relate to them, because you can look up the Eye on Arbonne stories by profession.
Okay.
And so, if somebody's been in real estate or somebody's in healthcare, you can put those in the search engine line. And so all the Eye on Arbonne stories that come up have that background. Those individuals have that background, and you can actually print them or you can email them to people.
Thank you.
And yes,
Thank you.
I did just look at my app, and it is success.arbonne.com.
Oh, thank you.
I can share the screen really fast. I pulled it up in the background.
Okay, success.arbonne.com. Yeah, go ahead and share it, Alyssa.
Let me just come over. I usually just come right up here to, can y'all see, is it on my Arbonne page right now?
Yes.
I come up to this right-hand corner where it says About Arbonne, and I click on it, and you can do Discover Arbonne right here, and then just come down. And there's just great, I share this with prospects, just this whole website. But then when you come down here, you can click on Eye on Arbonne right here.
There, okay.
And, but then this would be a way too, if you share this website, that they can look it up too. But you can find just based on a profession, which country they're in. It's great. Say I have someone who is in nutrition, in fitness, and I just hit submit. And then, these are going to be your people that pop up.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Cool. And then,
hey, Alyssa.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Are you out of that screen?
Yes. Well, I can go back in there. I just stopped sharing.
Okay.
Hold on.
Just one. For those of us non-super techs, can you go down? Can you just? Sorry, I write it down. Then once I do it, I can figure it out.
Okay. So just go
top right hand corner.
Top right hand corner. It says About Arbonne.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to click on that, and then I'm going to hit Discover Arbonne right here, which is actually the page it's already on. And then you just scroll down, and then, we got people talking, so you can watch their videos, but Eye on Arbonne right here.
Okay. Got it.
But it's really handy because, those of us who have been around a while, they used to send them in our boxes, and that was the fun thing to see who you got, and kind of collect them and everything. But now, we can print out whatever we want. And just for the sake of time, because it is, we're getting close to 10, and I know I guess 9 year old's time, but 10 my time. I just will share with you, this is just a made up, these are my clothes. This is what I have, like a little clipboard. I use these for my clothes. So I put my little business card down in here, and then I've got a catalog. I don't let them have these until the very end though. I use client cards, which I know Kelly, you said you have those. Order forms I'm going to get rid of now because, just we don't need them anymore now that I'm going to do this. But so these are going to be the close sheets, and these are found on Cecilia's website. So okay, Kelly, have you seen these? The ones I happen to grab are not laminated, but because these are the older ones. I'm in the process of making the new. They've changed these things all the time. But so what this has, this is just where they can circle, once you laminate this, you can circle it, and then they can just, add on anything they want here. Because if they've got like the, marker or whatever, it's really handy. And then I also always stick in here, just compensation summary too. I like to always just have that in there. I don't go over this, but if anybody's interested, I like them to look at it. And just a lot of times people are like, this isn't real, is it? They actually read it. So then you answer questions, and it gets your coffee date out of it. Because what is the most important thing is finding a business builder. That's what we're doing at these things. So
thank you for that, Alyssa. So Brenda had sent me that, what you're calling the close sheet, but
yes.
I take it as that. I just took it as information for me. Let me ask you, why do you laminate? If you're giving that are you giving all that you showed, the catalog and the close sheet and the compensation, are you giving that in a gift bag?
They don't actually keep it. No. Now, if I was having a one-on-one, that's a different story. I would, let them keep whatever I was giving them. But at a party, just because for financial reasons, and, if you have it laminated, that takes a little bit. I have my own laminator here at my house, but I always take my closed sheets back. And especially now if we're going to write on them with, marker, then you definitely want to take it back. and makes it easy. But yeah, the only thing they really need to keep is a catalog. That's all they usually want to keep. Okay. If they're interested in the business though, I do give them, just like Kim was talking about, the opportunity packet that I have made up, which is separate. And I usually it has a little folder and a little brochure. It's a little different than this. It talks more about the business and more about Arbonne. It's more in depth than this. This is more just for like a consumer. But if they're interested in the business, I want to give them a lot more information to kind of look over once they get home and to be more familiar with Arbonne before we have our coffee date.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Does anybody else have anything to share? Because we are coming up on 9 o'clock, and I'll go over the homework if everybody, but I want to give everybody an opportunity to ask any questions or to share, because that's really what we're here, is to help everyone learn and build their business. So your questions are of the utmost importance. So does anybody else have anything?
Just a real quick share. Whenever you have a client that happens to ask you, oh, would you mind, I have a niece in Arizona, would you mind sending her some samples? Sometimes I've thought, oh, I've done that before. And you're going, oh my goodness. Well, I literally did that, sent a lot of different things to one of my clients' nieces in Tucson. And she just out of the blue is going to buy the RE9 set and wants to know what she needs to do to start this business. Wow. She fell in love with it. I know. Now, I will let you know what happens, but still, it was like, oh my gosh, here we're getting a PC, an RE9 ASVP, she wants the whole thing, and a possible business builder. So do follow up, because you never know. Follow up, follow up, follow up. That truly is the fortune.
Wow, thanks for sharing that win, Eleanor. That's definitely a great win. All right, so let's talk about the homework for next week. So the first thing was to read chapters 4 and 5 of Dare to Dream and Work to Win. Now, I don't know if everybody has this book, because this book is out of print right now and you can get it used. I just ordered this from Amazon because I had given away my last copy of it to one of our team members. So you can look on Amazon. There are some companies, and this was from thrift books or bookstores. I actually got this one, and it's used, and so it's already has some highlights in it, but it's in great condition. So if you want to order this book, you can order it. But if you can't find it, you can't get it, absolutely start reading Get Over Your Damn Self. And we'll just do, the same numbers of chapters in this. But at some point in your business, you will get a hold of Dare to Dream and Work to Win. So if you don't have it and you can't read it right, you can't get it, then be reading Get Over Your Damn Self and just do the same number of chapters in this book, because these are both how to direct sales and network marketing. They just give you the real basics of how to build your Arbonne business. So anyway, so read chapters 4 and 5, and if you're reading Get Over Your Damn Self, read up to through chapter 4, because if you get to chapter 4, you will be ready for call number 3. And she's going to start talking about your I story, and this is where Romy starts talking about how to write your why, and so you'll be right there on the same page, learning the same things. So the second part of the homework is have 4 intentional conversations about the Arbonne business. So this means you need to call up several people and ask to meet them one-on-one for a coffee appointment or for a Zoom date if they're out of town, so that you can share the Arbonne business with them. And so that is using the Is Arbonne for You. So, and I keep my Is Arbonne for You usually laminated, and so you can go over that. And so all of you guys have been on a coffee date or a one-on-one or a Zoom, and your sponsor did the Is Arbonne for You, because that's how most people join this business, is after they've heard the Is Arbonne for You. So your second part of the homework is going to be have 4 intentional conversations about your Arbonne business. And if you need help on verbiage, on how to present it, how to ask for that one-on-one, Romy has some great verbiage for that on page 80, and you can just tweak that to meet your, to be personal to the person that you're talking with. All right, so number 3, make a list of 50 people to call to host for you. You've all heard that it's a numbers game, so that's why Linda says 50 people, because if you call 50 people and ask them to host for you, you're going to get about 4 events or 4 parties out of that. It takes about that many people, because I just think about yourself. If somebody called you and says, hey, Brenda, it'd mean the world to me if you would host an Arbonne party for me. 50-50 chance, and probably less than that, probably 75-1 that she's going to say yes, because Brenda's going to go like, oh man, I am so busy, and so most people are really busy. So that's why Linda says call 50 or text 50, whatever it takes. That's about the number that you're going to get 4, that you're going to be able to book 4 events out of. All right, so make a list of 50 people and have this done by our next Zoom, which is on August 20th. And then out of those 50, book 2 events for the week, for this week, from 8/21 to 8/27. Okay, so 2 events you want to book. And if you can't get somebody to host a party, get a coffee appointment out of it, or get a Zoom one-on-one out of it. You can also Zoom parties. So like if your aunt or cousin lives in another town, ask them to gather 2 or 3 people around their kitchen table, have you there on the computer in front of them, and you're going to do exactly what you would do if you were there in person. Okay, so you can do it that way. So book 2 events for this week, and then book 2 events for the week after, so for 8/21 to 8/27. So you're actually, from these 50, this list of 50 people, you're going to book 4 events out of that. All right, number 5, sell 2 nutrition ASVPs. for the group starting August 20th. Alyssa Britt is actually leading this group, and so it actually starts a week from today. The posting started today, but we still have plenty of time to invite people to join that 30 Days to Healthy Living. So your goal is, before next Monday, is to get 2 people enrolled into that 30 Days to Healthy Living, and the way you get them enrolled is that they purchase the Nutrition ASVP. And if you get those 2 people, and I shouldn't say if, when you get those 2 people, you ask those 2 people, can you find 4 people to do this with you? And I've not had really good luck with the find 4, but I always ask, because 4 seems to be the lucky number. And if they can't find 4, if they say, oh, I don't know about that, and I'm saying, you really should have an accountability partner, because it's so much fun doing this 30 Days to Healthy Living with somebody else. And so I will at least get 99% of the time my one person to find another person. So I'm getting 2 people for the price of one, not really for the price of one, but when one person joins, you really encourage them to find that accountability partner if they won't find 4. If they find 4, that's when you talk to them about upgrading to becoming a business builder. Because if they find 4, they've already almost, halfway to district, by getting that, by doing their order and those people's orders. So if they find 4, those are the people that you need to talk to about becoming your business partners. And so those are the 5 things for our homework next week. So really, just if you do the work, if we do the activity that's lined out in these calls, we will promote to district manager and above, because we all know that the growth in this business has everything to do with our activity, and getting activity on our books has everything to do with our enthusiasm when we're asking. So it's the 2 things. You got to have the enthusiasm when you ask, and then you got to do the ask. And so if you have both of those things, your business is going to grow. And Alyssa, Eleanor, do you have anything else?
One more little thing. I don't know if any of you do this, but I have found that whenever you have several people doing the healthy living at the same time, if you do like a little group text, and you just kind of keep that little group text going, just, every couple of days, just, a visual, just anything, they start bonding even though they don't even know each other. It's like, and I was telling Charlotte, it's like, let's go girls, let's lock arms, and they cheer each other on, and it's so much more fun. They're still going to be on the Facebook site, they still do all of that, but just that tiny little connection of the people in that same group, that are doing it with me, it has added something. I just started doing that the last couple of months, and I have found that they stay with it the whole month. Sometimes they drop off. I don't know. They're not as apt to stay the whole 30 days sometimes, but when they're connected, they stick. They stick together, and it's made it a lot of fun. And it doesn't have to be a lot of work, just, a little visual every now and then. So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Thanks, Eleanor.
Especially if you have more than 4 or 5. It's really a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, Eleanor. Alyssa, do you have any closing words?
No, but let's have a great week. And speaking of accountability, Eleanor, let's hold each other accountable to get all this homework done that Kim just told us about. So I'm excited, and I just, let's win the day every day. I can't wait to hear everybody's wins next week.
Absolutely, win the day. And we do have a Voxer group set up for this group of Let's Go District, so we can certainly in there share our wins. Win the day, share your win in the Voxer group that's Let's Go District. So all right, everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you back here next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.